my goodness. Okay, so I have compiled a lot of data for you because I love numbers, I love data, and I love for people to say, that's interesting, and maybe it helps you think a little differently, okay? So bear with me. So first I'm gonna tell you a story about how I got to my old job and how I left my old job. But basically, I never went to college. And I just hustled. So my very first job was as a medical recruiter. I would call up doctors like in the operating room and say, hey, can I offer you another job? And it worked sometimes. It was all on commission and they gave me like a draw. And then I got pregnant with my oldest and a different company approached me and recruited me and was like, hey, we'll pay you more to do the same thing. So I moved to their office, and once I was about to give birth, they fired me. That was like not so legal, but it happened. So now I'm hugely pregnant, jobless, and I took the first thing I could get, which was a receptionist in an OBGYN office. I worked there until I gave birth. And when I came back from maternity leave, they were like, you're awesome. I was like, thank you. And we would like to offer you a position as the OBGYN medical biller. So with no background in anything, I became the OBGYN medical biller. And that came with a raise. I started out at $14 an hour. And not enough to take care of your family at all, but hey, now, you know, that's what it was. So then I was the OBGYN medical biller, ended up like working my little butt off. Well, it was rather large back then because I had 60 pounds to lose, but that's a whole nother story. And I really rose up pretty high up in that department, wrote the medical billing, like, what do you want to call it? Like all the rules. I was big stuff. Okay. Then I got raised up, another raise up to like the head of finance. And all in all, I was there for 10 years and I worked my way up to as high as I could get. But I had a salary cap, you know, and the raises after a while ended up being like either nothing or in 2016, yes, 2000, or was it 2017? They gave me a 25-cent raise. See, I'm pretty calm. Like I'm very, direct. Like I know what I want to say and how I want to say it, but I'm also pretty calm in terms of like, I don't like confrontation. So my bosses had never seen me lose it at all. Like never. In 10 years, I was always like, oh, what do you need? No problem. Get it done. Right? Never showed much emotion at all. I literally was pissed. I walked into HR and I was like, you know what? You can keep your 25 cents because I'm just going to have to pay more taxes. Like, please don't embarrass me by offering me 25 cents. Like, I'm worth so much more to you. I mean, I had gone through, okay, let's talk about Hurricane Sandy for a second. When that happened, I was in charge of the FEMA, like, everything to make sure that we got money because we had stuff that was over there. We had all these medical vans there and everything was destroyed and it was like a whole thing and they put me in charge of it. Like, okay. And then I found that we owned some property next door to our property that was actually ours that they didn't know that they owned. And so now like there was so much stuff that I did for this company and no matter how hard I worked, it didn't show on my paycheck. And so finally I was like, I need to quit because this is going to be the slow death of mine if I remain in this cubicle. Like I just can't do it. And I actually quit. And I am now an entrepreneur. I own two businesses. I own a health coaching practice. I own a salon. I have always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I was the girl with the lemonade stand. Okay. But I want to explain to you today why being an entrepreneur is in your best interests. Okay. So I am first going to explain to you what a pyramid scheme is because I personally don't run a multi-level marketing business. I own my own franchise. I own my own LLC. But for those of you that like to look at entrepreneurs and be like, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. Let me introduce you to what the concept of a pyramid scheme actually is so that you can educate yourselves on understanding why you're wrong. And I told you I was blunt. So people are leaving. They're like, girl, I can't take it. Well, you should come back because let me explain to you what's actually going on. Okay, I'm going to educate you on this. What is a pyramid scheme? A pyramid scheme is where you are paid to sign people up to sell something that doesn't actually exist. And you kind of get like paid to get people to do something that no one really knows what they're doing. You are not making commission because there's no product to sell, okay? So this is illegal. You don't have any ability to make real money in a pyramid scheme. The only person that gets rich is the person who owns it. It's kind of like a Ponzi scheme. The money that comes in, they use to recruit more people to do nothing, and then no one makes any money except the guy on top, and they usually get shut down and put in jail, okay? That's a pyramid scheme. People who are entrepreneurs, even people who are doing, let's say, multi-level marketing or network marketing, which is not what I do, but people who are doing that, that is a legitimate business. That is not a pyramid scheme. I hate to break it to you, for all of you who comment like, oh, stay away from that mascara, it's a pyramid. No, it's not. They are selling a real product, and guess what? Some people like it. I tried it. It looked weird on me, but hey, some people like it. That's not a pyramid scheme. They are not forcing you to do something you don't want to do. You asked to buy that mascara. Let's call a spade, okay? So a pyramid scheme is something that is illegal, and they are not selling a product. They are just signing up people who sign up people who sign up people, and then nothing comes from it, okay? Let's talk about life as a 9-to-5 employee and why I believe that that's a pyramid scheme. Let's look at this. Not very good at drawing a triangle, apparently. Good thing they don't pay me to do that. But let's see. This is where I started, okay? Hardworking employees who are told you are worth $14 an hour or whatever it was that or is that you're paid, okay? And then you could be a supervisor. Sometimes you can be raised up, you know, given a raise or given a promotion, maybe. Usually it depends on your college degree and the letters after your name, which I did not have any letters after my name. I never went to college, not even a little. It's not like I went and quit. I just never started. Managers, okay, you might get a managerial position. You're not making that much more an hour, but you definitely have a lot more responsibilities. You have the vice president, who's working probably harder than the president. Then you have the president, and then you have the CEO. Now, please tell me on this triangle, who's the richest one? Is it the people who are doing the most work down here? Hell no, you know it's not. You know it's the CEO, right? So all of these people are there to support the CEO's salary. Now, don't get me wrong, they might be doing great work. I am not putting down what you do. It might be incredible, awe-inspiring work, okay? But in a 9-to-5 job, you basically have zero chance of becoming the CEO or making the CEO's salary. Many companies will give you a 25-cent raise, just like I did. You have a salary cap, unless you're on commission, but then you're on a draw, and I mean, let's call a spade again. Eventually, they will stop it, you know, because the CEO has to make the most money. No matter how hard you work, your pay will always be the same, besides for that small incremental raise or maybe a holiday bonus. They will always pay you less than you're worth. They have to. If they paid you what you're worth, they wouldn't make any money. So they're hoping that you're going to keep working for them and never ever realize that you're actually worth a lot more than $14 an hour. Now let me have you listen to this for a second. Nearly 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And 71% of those people have zero savings. And so I'd like to ask you this. If you work 9-to-5 in what I consider to be a 9-to-5 pyramid scheme, okay, according to my beautifully drawn triangle, I would like to ask you how many things you missed. Birthdays? Did you miss a birth? Graduations? School performances? Class trips? Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you're missing other things. Maybe your friends are all getting together to go to, I don't know, Jamaica, and it's like, oh, my boss doesn't let me. Do you hate Mondays? Are you all excited for the weekend? I literally spoke to someone the other day, and she's like, I'm like, hey, it's Tuesday. And she's like, I hate Tuesdays. And I was like, why? I love Tuesdays. And she's like, no, Tuesdays suck. And I realized that not everybody loves the middle of the week. And I'm all like, what are we going to do today? This is so exciting. That wasn't always me. I worked in a windowless cubicle for 10 years. I remember coming home, going to work when it was so early that the sun wasn't really up yet, and then coming home when the sun had already gone down. And I asked my husband, I was like, is this all I get? Is this it? Am I going to spend my entire, I didn't even know it was the summer. I was like, it doesn't even matter if it's warm or cold outside because I'm in an office all the time. I remember if I would take a lunch break and actually leave the office, I would go to, let's say, the mall or Starbucks just to get my head out of a computer. And I would wonder where all these people were coming from. Like, how are all these people just walking around getting lunch with their friends or shopping in the middle of the day? I could never figure it out. And so what I want you to do right now is press the little share button on the bottom left-hand side, because I'm about to change your life with what I'm about to say. Because in your 9-to-5 position, you are devalued and you are not living to your full potential. And I want to explain to you how you can. I don't want to just tell you how much it sucks. I want to tell you how you can change it. So, life as an entrepreneur has so many perks, okay? The harder you work, the more money you make. Always. The harder you work, the more money you make. There is no salary cap when you work for yourself. You make money by either giving your clients a service or a product that they actually want. And the idea is to create residual income to make enough money while you sleep so you can do whatever you want while you're awake. Travel, hang out with friends, dabble in real estate, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do. Your 9-to-5 job is holding you back from that. And so if you're one of those people, you may want to consider reaching out. I can help you set up your own business as an entrepreneur, or you might want to consider looking into what your passion is and how you can create a business in whatever it is. I mean, if you want to sell snowballs to Eskimos, please find a market for it, okay? But I want to encourage you to start to live outside the box. The college industry has made us believe that the only way to be successful is to go to school and learn a trade and then do that until you retire. And at that point, you're too tired to go do all the things you wanted to do. Wouldn't you rather travel the world in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s and see all the things you want to see and make friends with all the people you want to make friends with and experience all the experiences rather than waiting until you're 65, 70? Maybe you can't even afford to retire then, so you're going to work until the day that you die. And I don't want that to sound so doomsday, but we all have an expiration date. I would like to make the most of what's in between. I don't want to have to keep waiting for the weekends. I don't want to have to keep waiting for vacations. I don't want someone else to tell me when I'm allowed to take vacation. The day my grandmother died, my boss made me come to work. The day I went into labor with my oldest, my boss asked me if I could come in anyways. No, I cannot. And now you cannot tell me what to do. And I happen to still go to the doctor at that doctor's office where I used to work. And every time I leave, I'm like, thank you, Lord, that I don't have to go upstairs right now and work, that they cannot tell me what to do, that they do not own my day. I own my day. So it may be time for you to look into owning your own business and working for your future rather than working for your boss's future. Okay, this is where entrepreneurship is priceless. And I actually wrote out a list of 17 very quick things of why being your own boss is invaluable. Number one, you have full control over your future. You decide. You're your own boss. 2, you can create friendships and relationships because they are built in an entrepreneurship culture. We want to rise together. We help each other. We are in Facebook groups of entrepreneurs that will share each other's success and share each other's ideas and teach each other things because we all want each other to be successful. You will not find that in corporate America. In corporate America, people talk about you behind your back. In corporate America, people will toss you under the bus just to make themselves look better, just in case they may get the raise, just in case they may get the, glory. They are not raising you up. In the entrepreneurship culture, we do. We love when other people are successful. We celebrate that. 3, you can work in a bathing suit. You can work from anywhere. I've worked from a cruise ship. I've worked from Mexico. I've worked from Florida in Disney World. I've worked from an ice bar in Vegas. I mean, dude, I've worked from anywhere, right? As long as you have a phone and Wi-Fi, you're good to go. You can change people's lives. Whatever your service is doing is literally changing people's lives, and you will directly see that. Now, me working in a doctor's office, did that help people? Sure. It offered a service. It allowed people to come and see a doctor that they may not have otherwise been able to afford, because I worked in a federally qualified health center. I didn't see that. I was working on spreadsheets. I was working up in a windowless cubicle, and I had no clue what I was doing, how that made impact. When you own your own business, you will directly see the impact that it makes on other people's lives. 5, you can travel. Did I mention you can travel? Literally right now, we are looking for summer plans. If anyone has any, please drop them in the comments, because we cannot choose. I'm thinking to stay local. My husband's like, why don't we go to Jamaica? And I'm like, we're already going to Disney in the end of July. So like, I don't know. We have to decide. But for those of you that are just joining, if you could please share this. I'm dropping some serious truth bombs here, things that people need to hear. So bottom left-hand side, you can share it. You can travel. Number 6, you will never be bored because you are always using your brain. Have you ever sat at your desk and been like, I am not being challenged. I am not stupid. Why am I doing this? This was not in my job description. Right? You will always be challenged as an entrepreneur. Number 7, it's a cubicle-free life. You can work outside. You can do what makes your heart happy while you still make an income to take care of your family. Number 8, you can spend time with said family. My husband is the only other dad. There's only 2 dads that show up to carpool. That's it. Of all the people picking up their kids, it's one dude. I don't know what he does. He's probably an entrepreneur. And my husband. And he comes to all the school plays now, where my kids used to be like, hey, Daddy, can you come? And he's like, sorry, I have surgery. By the time they had their play in school, he had already been at work for like 4 hours. Life is so different now. I mean, honestly, like, he cooks dinner because he's here, you know? 9, you get out what you put in. Your effort will directly show on your paycheck. It might take some time, but it will directly show up in your paycheck. Number 10, you can give other people jobs. Now, I mean, gosh, it's not just about you anymore. You can hire other people, or you can help other people create their own business, their own franchise. You can do that for other people, because now you have the ability to not just refer them like, hey, you can go to HR, maybe they're hiring. No, you can directly say, hey, I can hire you. I can hire you. If you're looking for something, come work with me. I can help you have this life. And so you can give freedom to other people. Number 11, you can give more charity. That's huge. I don't have to explain that. Number 12, you have a flexible schedule. You can work out. You can hang out with friends. You can go shopping. And all of it works around what it is that you need to do for work. Number 13, you never hit an income salary. Never, ever, ever. Has there been a month, as me being an entrepreneur, I opened up my business in September 2016. I have never once had a month that went by without getting a raise. That might not be typical, but that's been me. I'm a hustler. Never once. I will always grow, because I will always help more people, because I have the drive to continue to grow, because it's my flipping business. It is not someone else. It's not just clocking in, hating it, and waiting until you can leave. I have a direct interest in this business growing, and so I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Number 14, you will be appreciated and valued. Not once did my boss say thank you. I don't care that she didn't give me a raise. I don't care that she kept switching me around in departments. I don't care that she was snooty and snobby. I didn't care about any of that. The one thing, and I really want to let go of this, but I will tell you, you guys know I'm not perfect. I will never inspire you by being perfect. I will inspire you by telling you who I really am and what I really believe, right? So the one thing I hold against her to this day is that she never was appreciative. She never said thank you. She never said, Ray, you are an integral piece of our team. Without you, our finance department would not run. Thank you. Not once. Every day I get messages from people. Thank you so much. You changed my life. Thank you so much. Without you, I wouldn't have lost 100 pounds. Without you, I wouldn't be able to quit my job. I have people that I'm working with right now that have quit full-time jobs. This is not just me. Again, results may be not typical, but people who put in the work will see the results. They will reap the rewards. Number 15, you are constantly learning and growing. We read self-help books. We listen to podcasts. We inspire each other. We want to be better people. When you're working a 9 to 5, that might not necessarily be the case. You might not have that culture. It might be the throw you under a bus culture. And what kind of culture is that? Is that what you really want to surround yourself with? You are like the 5 people you surround yourself with most. And if those 5 people are employees or coworkers, that aren't happy either with their surroundings, I mean, you're going to come home a negative Nelly. That's what happened to me. All we did was sit around and talk generally about people or the things that we hated or why we hated Tuesdays or why we were miserable or why we didn't have enough money for anything or why our boss sucked. I mean, that's what it was. Now, the 5 people I'm surrounded with are all millionaires. I have direct contact with people who are literally leveling up their lives to the point that they are traveling around the United States. And I'm actually going to put a link in the comments below of the event that we're hosting July 7th in New York. And I implore you to come because it will change your life. He wrote a book and it's changing people's lives. He's traveling around the United States changing people's lives because that's what an entrepreneur can do. That's who I'm directly associated with. Those are my friends. My friends inspire other people to be awesome. And now that's what I'm surrounded with. And that's my environment. I much prefer that to the nasty lunchroom that I used to sit in, right? Number 16, you don't require a degree. I did not go to college. I make more money than anyone I went to school with. And I say that in the least braggadocious way ever. You know, I'm not coming to you with ego. I am telling you this because you can have it too. If you choose an entrepreneurship life, you can have it too. I did not go to college. I will never go to college. I don't even know if my kids want to go. I mean, I guess I'll pay for it, but I can in cash, in full. I will not have debt because I'm an entrepreneur. Now, you don't have to be like me to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to have my personality. You don't have to have my social media presence. You don't have to have my writing skills. You don't even have to want the same things as me. But if you want a bigger life, if you want a life of absolute freedom, like I said before, making enough money while you sleep with residual income so you can have the life you want while you're awake, then entrepreneurship is the life for you. And you will do it with your personality and with your God-given skills and with your desire for whatever your hopes are. Your hopes are different than mine. Whatever drives you, that is good enough. Just do what gives you the best life. I don't want to live and then die in a cubicle. I want to live all the way till the very end. Okay, I want to have stories for my grandchildren. Okay, and the last one, 17, you can dream really, really big. Your life can be so crazy and so wonderful that you inspire other people to do it too. You can say, you know what, I want to live here. I want to go there. I want to have this. And it's not just all about the materialistic. I'm talking about the experiences. Yesterday I asked people, what's money? And there were quite a few who had incredible answers, loved it, totally in my mindset, right? In my wavelength. But some people said money is the root of all evil. Money, my friends, is just a piece of paper that allows you to buy experiences, that allows you to create memories. Money is not the root of all evil. Humans can create it to be the root of all evil because they do bad things with it. It is not lusting after money either, because creating wealth for yourself will give you options to help other people and to live life meant to be lived, right? You are meant to live life to its fullest. You are not meant to live life sitting in a cubicle waiting until you can go home to put your kids to sleep. That is not life. Living life is being with your kids, doing fun things together because you can. And so I want to encourage you to think about, what does entrepreneurship life mean to you? Are you going to get stuck in this 9-to-5 pyramid scheme where the CEO is always going to make more money than you because you have a salary cap? Are you going to get stuck there? Or are you going to break free and find passion, or join me in my mission to get America healthy? There is room for all of you. But find your entrepreneurship path, find your way, create wealth for yourselves so that you can live life on your own terms. And don't ever, ever, ever agree to a 25-cent raise. You are worth way, way more than that. So I hope that this spoke to you. I hope that it inspired you to think, to maybe make some change, to maybe share this with other people. Bottom left-hand side, share this with your friends, or tag your friends, or just comment what your thoughts are. I don't want you to just watch this. I want you to tell me what you're thinking, okay? Share, comment, tag, like, whatever it is, so other people can be inspired. but you do not have to settle. You can contend. Entrepreneurship life can be for you.